Ugh, gotta need a haircut. Maybe 25 likes on the last two videos were like asking for too much. How about 10 likes? Or I'll just shave it whenever I want. Enough dilly-dallying, we got a lot of news to get to today, especially in robotics, but it's really interesting, I promise you that. So enough of that, let's get right into it. Cue the poorly drawn intro, let's do this thing. Ayo, and welcome to another episode of Drew's News Live, the only show on YouTube bringing you your daily dose of dining, robotics, entertainment, world, and sports news, all within, mouth the words, minutes. Like, comment, and subscribe, all that good stuff on the video. Please, I'm not allowed to go back to my day job. Legally, I'm not allowed within 50 feet of the premises, but that's neither here nor there. Let's jump straight into dining news. In dining news, we've all been to that one hole-in-the-wall coffee or tea shop that gave those big chains a run for their money. However, since the pandemic hit, not only has the restaurant industry been hit hard, but the independent coffee shop business is apparently facing a major blow as well. According to research firm Euromonitor International and a Bloomberg report, while big companies like Starbucks, McDonald's, and Dunkin' have been able to thrive during this pandemic, mom and pop shops are said to be struggling to stay afloat. Mainly because these big companies like Starbucks and McDonald's have like a mobile ordering system, well, down to a system, and they're able to have third-party delivery apps deliver food to people, and they also have a drive-thru. Luxuries that mom and pop shops just don't have. The US is projected to have around 25,300 coffee and tea shops still open by the end of 2020, but that figure is said to be down 7.3% compared to last year's beverage shop numbers. This marks the second decline in the independent beverage shop within a decade, and also sets up consequences like unemployment and a fall in annual coffee sales. Though it's said the coffee food service industry will suffer for some time, retail coffee sales are expected to grow at grocery stores. Alright y'all, challenge time. It's time to save the local coffee shop. You need to mask up, get your wallet out, and order the biggest, most expensive drink that they got. Hashtag support local brew. In terrifying news, yes, in dining news, a new study published Monday found out the reason you have so many mosquito bites. A study from New York Rockefeller's University, published in the Journal of Neuron, said humans taste rather sweet and salty, like a salted caramel candy, to mosquitoes. It's said to probably have something to do with the ATP in our blood, which is an energy compound, or other flavor factors that mosquitoes are able to distinguish. The flavors are said to give mosquitoes a rewarding or excited sensation. Sadly, Veronica Juve, a researcher for the university, said that we're all fair game for mosquitoes. I mean, candy for mosquitoes. The study is super interesting, and the New York Post does a really good job like breaking down all the sciencey gibberish and wordplay, so I'll link that story down in the description below. In robotics and tech news, hold on, let me get out my tinfoil hat for this one. There we go. According to a study from the Scientific American by an author I won't even attempt to pronounce, the chances of us being in a computer simulation are about 50-50. You're probably expecting me to say less than nothing, but let me explain. Back in 2003, Nick Bostrom from the University of Oxford wrote a paper pertaining to the argument that humans are just in one big simulation. He created a scenario which painted us as being imagined by a technologically advanced civilization capable of immense computing power, and one that is powerful enough to simulate new realities with conscious beings in them. Conscious being used very loosely right there. Imagine it like we're just in a giant game of The Sims. Imagine if we're just in a giant game of The Sims. Bostrom's theory produced a trilemma, which I'll quote from the journal. First, humans always go extinct before reaching the simulation savvy stage. Second, even if humans made it to that stage, we're unlikely to be interested in simulating our own ancestral past, which I have to agree with because we already have Ancestry.com. And third, the probability that we are living in a simulation is close to 1. Okay, so now that you know the fundamentals of his 2003 report, let's fast forward to today, where Columbia University astronomer David Kipping used Bayesian reasoning to try to calculate the odds that we are in a simulation. There's a lot to explain, and trust me, I am doing my best to summarize everything. So Kipping collapsed Bostrom's trilemma into a dilemma because in 2 of the final results, we're not in a simulation, and in the third one, we're in a base reality with other simulations going on. Thinking about it and using super math skills, Kipping said, hey, if we're not living in a simulation, then we're living in a nulliparous universe. 100%. Nulliparous, I hope I say that right, is basically saying that we're in a reality that is not capable of simulating other realities. He then looked at the other hypothesis, if we are in a simulation, and concluded at some point too many simulations are going to be going on at the same time, which the technologically advanced civilization's computer just can't handle, thus rendering it incapable of spawning more conscious beings. Again, conscious being used very loosely here. Weighing all these factors and others into the Bayesian formula, he found, quote, the posterior possibility that we are living in base reality is almost the same as the posterior possibility that we are a simulation, with the odds tilting in favor of the base reality by just a smidgen. But like, how do we know? And you probably just wanted me to talk about the Apple event and Prime Day. Psh, a lot of cool stuff though. Whew. All right, that was a long one, but it was fun, right? Let's move on to entertainment news. The Amy Coney Barrett hearings, and how she didn't say any of her views on the pivotal issues. Democrats are questioning the judge, throwing hypotheticals at her, which she just won't answer, bringing up a scheme of $250 million in dark money, which is just... All right, go watch Rhode Island Senator Whitehouse's remarks to the judge. It's about a 30-minute segment, but literally every time you think he's done, he's just like, but wait, there's more. He was basically trying to say that money can corrupt Congress, which can then corrupt the Supreme Court and all these other outlets that Congress has access to. Basically using money to get what they want. Let me get my... Crazy stuff happening over there in the government, don't you think? All right, what do you think next? Joe Biden's emails? Please, no more politics. Fine, let's head over to China, where a new movie named 1 Second is finally getting a release date after a censorship battle between the filmmakers and the government. According to The Hollywood Reporter, the film was originally supposed to debut at the Berlin International Film Festival in 2019, but was pulled by producers last minute due to a technical issue, a tactic said to be euphemism for censorship objections from the Chinese government. The new movie is said to be 1 minute shorter than the original plan for Berlin, but it remains unclear exactly how much of the film got changed. During these COVID times though, take any movie I can get. The new movie is directed by Zhang Yimou and will be released on November 27th. In world news, Asia is said to be bouncing back from the economic troubles caused by the coronavirus. According to Forbes and PMI data, Asian manufacturing is experiencing a resurgence, citing eased lockdown restrictions in India and China, and also improvements in external and domestic demand. Staying in Asia, well, actually going back to China, the Chinese people got a taste of YouTube, Google, Twitter, and other Western applications through an app called Tuber. Tuber, available for like a day or so last week, saw over 5 million downloads in just 2 days on third-party Chinese Android stores, according to TechCrunch. Tuber gave users access to previously mentioned sites and also Facebook, but it did come with some restrictions, mainly on keywords with searches regarding political icons that just didn't return any results. All a user had to do to sign up with Tuber is said to register their Chinese linked phone number to their account, and then boom, they could surf the web. Tuber was said to be capable of suspending users' accounts, sharing their data with, quote, the relevant authorities if they actively watch or share content that breaches the Constitution, endangers national security and sovereignty, spreads rumors, and violates other laws. TechCrunch did some business digging and found that the app's official website operator is 70% owned by a subsidiary of Qiho360, a Chinese cybersecurity giant. People and the media are said to have praised the app and called it an opening up of the Chinese internet. And in Nigeria, according to BBC News, Nigerian officials are said to be replacing SARS units with their SWAT teams for now, while they evaluate the SARS staff. The SARS are the Special Anti-Robbery Squads, known for getting violent on peaceful protesters, just raising awareness on human rights abuses said to be carried out by the country and by police. Head of the police in Nigeria, Mohammed Amadu, said in a press release that the new Special Weapons and Tactics team will fill the gaps left from the dissolution of SARS. Wrapping up with sports news, the Los Angeles Lakers won their 17th title on Sunday, which I still can't believe. Check out my Monday podcast where I shoot down all you salty fans and your stupid arguments. Speaking of salty fans, I'm one of them, because I have to watch the Dodgers get absolutely manhandled by the Braves and then do something about it when it's too late. Guys, can we choke in the World Series? We can at least say we got there 4 times in a row. Lost all 4, but still. In football news, the 2021 Pro Bowl has been canceled by the NFL, but plans to reimagine the event in Las Vegas are said to be in the works. I don't have any other sports news, so we'll just stick to football. New York Jets running back Le'Veon Bell was released by the team, citing that the team, player, and agent were exploring potential trade options. Right now, it's not clear where the running back will end up, but he's 28, so Chargers. And finally, according to Bleacher Report, again, ex-NFL running back C.J. Anderson is set to return to his alma mater, the Cal Berkeley Bears, as a volunteer quality control coach. Oh, and shout out the French Open Cup winners. Rafael Nadal beat Novak Djokovic in the men's final on Sunday. Meanwhile, Iga Swiatek? I don't speak Polish, I'm sorry. Beat Sofia Kenin in the women's final, becoming one of the youngest, if not the youngest, French Open Cup winner, at least in the women's division, at 19 years old. As always, thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. If you like what you saw, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and comment if you want to see any improvements or just like what you see. Best thing about each one is that they're free, cost absolutely nothing, and they're not worth a penny. So, seem 3 good reasons to me. Monday rolled around, and you know what that means. More of the Drew's News podcast on SoundCloud. I'll link that in the description below. Follow me on SoundCloud if you do go and listen to it. There's original jokes, pretty good reporting, and really good voice. Twitter will also be in the description below, as will my journal portfolio. Finally back on that after trying to focus on podcasts and videos and stuff. I'm gonna balance all 3 now. Alright, I got a ham and egg sandwich calling me downstairs, so I will see y'all next time.